Well, here it is, Friday, and another Buzz 1151 video. I love Fridays. On part 2, I was working on the automatic record changer, and today I'm going to finish it up. You're looking at the Platter Turntable Idler Wheel. I showed this in part 1. It was cracked. You can see that. Anyway, I can take this off. See that?
Don't do that.
Comes off. So I measured this, and I looked up square O-rings.
Don't be such a square.
And I was able to find something similar to this. I ordered this from McMaster Car.
Oh, I see.
Let me take it out of there. Here we go. Now looks like it's a little bigger. It's very hard to get the exact size on these. So I think this will probably work.
It might work.
Try to get it even here. There. What do you think? Think that'll work?
Uh-huh.
We're going to find out later. Now also, earlier I was looking at this wheel here. This is the one that's got that big dent here. And I was trying to take this off, and while prying it off, it's so brittle it just cracked.
Oh, dear me.
Oh, wow.
That's neat.
So I found one at that McMaster Car website. Let me show you. I couldn't order just one. I had to order all these. And so here's this.
Yes, I see.
The funny thing on this, if you take a look at that, underneath the rubber was these rubber bands on here. Look at that.
Huh?
You think that's the way it was made? Or did somebody try to replace it? And they had this, and it was too big, so they had to add some rubber bands in there. I don't know what the story is on it.
Me neither. Ah, blue.
Let's see if it's even here.
It looks pretty good.
Looks like it's on there okay. Okay, let's glue this on there. Now, I roughed up the inside here, and I will not be using those rubber bands.
Oh.
I'm going to use a silicone adhesive. I roughed up the inside of this square O-ring here. So let's just apply the adhesive.
Go home. You're in over your head.
I'll clean that up better off camera, and we'll let that dry. Then I'll stick those two wheels in there and play with this thing until I get it right. Hopefully it'll work better. I've been playing with this record changer on and off for the past 3 days, and it's given me fits. I've had this thing turned over like 50 million times. I dinged up the arm here, trying to get this thing to work right.
You stupid bonehead.
Let me show you what I've got here. I've got it working, but it's not working right. Let me show you. Now this little thing here is a reject button. So if I hit that, see how it slows down like that?
George not understand.
There's no cartridge in there because if there was, that'd be wrecked by now. Okay, so this will be playing and it gets all the way to the end. It'll come up. This thing moves in, the record will drop, and it'll start playing the next record. I can't do anything about that slowness.
It's okay, don't worry.
Pretty crazy, huh? There's a shot of that roller with the new rubber on it. I'm going to hit the reject button and we'll take a look at how that works. There's no slipping on the rollers, so that's not causing that slowdown.
Okay then, let's hit it.
Hit it.
Okay, I'm going to hit it.
Hit it again.
I'll hit it again.
Well, look at that.
Smooth.
Now this thing is set for 10-inch records. If you had a 12-inch 78, you would just turn this like this and use that side. 10 inches, 12 inches. Now anybody who would stack records on this is crazy because these things are very brittle. That's what you do when you stack the records. You just stick them up like that. Look how far that's got to drop. I'm going to hit this reset. Hopefully that record won't break, but I want to demonstrate this. Okay, keep your eye on this top one here. It's going to go forward. It's going to push that record off. Okay, I'm going to hit the eject. Push it off. Wow! Here you go. Okay, it's starting to push it off. Ouch! What a beating that took, huh? I'm never going to use the automatic record dropper on this thing. So I'm going to just use it on manual. And when that's in manual, mechanism here is not activated. When it gets to the end of the record, it just moves back and forth. That's good enough for me. And that's the way it's going to be. So with all the time I've spent on this, it's just time to move on. So in conclusion, I hereby declare that this record changer has kicked old Buzz's ass. So I'm throwing in the towel. Or rag. I give up. You win, changer. You win. Well, it's raining like crazy outside. I think it's time I start doing this chassis here. I'm going to have to remove all this rust here.
Yeah.
And that was caused by the mouse peeing on this thing.
Yeah.
Kind of stinks a little bit, although it's been years since I mouse peed on it. But I want to take off this tuning capacitor and this can here, and we'll see if we can get all this rust off.
Yeah.
So I'm going to continue to do this. When I get all the rust off, we'll show it to you. Well, there it is, de-rusted. Now I'm going to paint this. So I'm going to mask all these spots here, over here. There's the masking. Now you're probably asking, why is he painting that for? That thing's in the cabinet. Nobody's going to see it.
Yeah.
The only way you can see the chassis if you take it out of there. Well, I had to take the rust off. So since the rust is off, I might as well paint it. And this is sort of an experiment. I think I'll paint this chassis copper color. Remember the copper hammered paint I had? I'm gonna paint that, see what it looks like for future use. And the good thing about this is, it'll piss off all the purists. I love to do that. I love to yank their chains.
Yoo-hoo!
So, let's take this outside, paint it. I'm not going to use any primer because it says in the can here, no primer needed. Now, I don't know if that's true, but this is an experiment, so it doesn't matter. Well, it's finally time to do the cabinet here. We haven't showed it too much. So before I start working on this, let's take a closer look at it, shall we? There's the Sonora decal. It says Sonora, clear as a bell. And there's the bell there as a logo. So I'm going to have to strip this. The finish is in lousy condition. So that means the decal's got to go. Now I tried to order a logo sort of like that from Radio Days, but the Radio Days does not have the writing underneath clear as a bell. So I guess if you can't buy it, you got to make it yourself, right? So I made my own. Here's some sheets of what I came up with.
You're a bad man. You're a very bad man.
It's about the right size. Now this doesn't have a grill cloth. It's got a grill screen. And from the looks of that, it's pretty dirty. That's going to take some cleaning up to do. Now here's the dial cover. It goes in like that. And I ordered a new one of these. The guy I get these from didn't have any of these in his stock. So what he asked me to do was make a tracing of the cutout, and he would make me one. So I'm waiting for that. Let's open the top. It's got a ding here, so I'm going to strip that too. There's the hinge. This is the front, and there's a metal plate here, so the chassis goes on the other side of this metal plate. We'll have to take this off before we refinish the cabinet, but this looks like we might be able to paint that brown or copper. Here's the rear of the cabinet, and notice the high-tech loop antenna right here. It's wound 3 times around there, and this connects to the chassis.
Oh, nothing but the best.
Nothing but the best. Here's the left side. There's some water damage down here, some veneer missing here and here, and some damage here. That's got to be fixed.
Then do it.
So I'm going to do that before we do anything else. This grill in there is just stapled, so it'll probably just come out real easy here. And a piece of cardboard. And there's the grill.
Well, that looks pretty crappy.
This looks like a flocking material. Can you believe that? This has been flocked. I thought it was just dirt.
What is seen is not always what is real.
Interesting. Okay, how comes this this metal piece here? Then we'll take a look at that. Guess it comes out this way. Guess it comes out this way.
Oh, brother.
You are watching a master at work.
Precision, huh? It says Markwell something manufacturing company. Think they added these at the factory? The other side doesn't have any. If at first you don't succeed in getting the holes lined up, you try again. Weird. Instead of springs, the changer sits on these rubber thingies there. There's one over there and there's 2 in the front. Let's see if we can get these things out.
Put your hip into it.
I'll just press up on it. Huh. I guess this cushions the whole changer assembly. Rubber seems to be okay on it. I'm going to do that veneer patching off camera. So when I get it finished, we'll show it to you. Then we'll strip this beast. Here's the left side. This is the patch here that was missing some wood. And all the way over the end, this is the patch here. That was a good match. That veneer was taken from that Stromberg Carlson I did about 7 years ago. Well, there's the front patch.
Oh, brother.
I just cut out a triangle-shaped piece of veneer and glued it on there.
It stinks!
This one did match as good as the left side patch. But once that's stained, and I put some toner on there, you won't be able to see it. But now, it's time for old Buzz to strip. And you don't want to miss that, that's for sure. Hang on to your hats. Coming up next.
Lunchtime!
Hi folks, Dicklef Lockett here. Do you remember Red the fish? That's her on the bottom of the tank with her friend Tiny. Back in November, Red was near death with her mouth rotting away. Here she is today, 4 months later. Her mouth is healed and she's still alive and kicking. Buzz has had her for 10 years. Happy anniversary, Red.
Oh, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary.
I went to church, got on my knees, and prayed for her recovery, and it worked. It was like magic. I ought to do that again. Dear God, this is Dicklef Lockett, your humble gnome servant. I come here again on bended knees, asking for your help. You're the best god in the world, and may I add, quite handsome too. You should be in the movies. Well, God, I'm at a low point in my life today. I come here for help. I'm a very lonely gnome. Could you get me a hot babe? Blonde, brunette, or redhead? Your choice. And if you can't get the babe, how about a bottle of whiskey? Thank you, Lord. Amen. Well, there's the cabinet after the stripping.
Not bad.
Now, before I stain this, I'm going to treat this with this pre-stain wood conditioner by Minwax, and the one with John from Arkansas's picture on it. Sign of quality, baby. Sign of quality. I'm going to do that mostly off camera. I'll just do a little bit right here. We'll see in a little bit. Okay, we're ready to stain. This is still a little bit wet. That's why it looks darker. If that were to dry, that would lighten up to the way it looked before I put it on. But we need to put the stain on there while it's still wet. Now I've got some panties today. Oh! And these are from Nancy Pelosi. This person, who shall remain nameless, saw her going into the bathroom and she was screaming. When she came out 10 minutes later, found her panties in the trash. Boy, that must have been nasty, because this stinks now. Whew! But we're not going to let this go to waste. Let's stain it.
Oh, God. I'll bet it's disgusting.
These are silk. Nothing but the best for Nancy.
Oh my God, that's the worst thing I ever heard in my life.
Well, there's a chassis after the painting. It looks pretty good, huh? We're going to put everything on it, and then we'll take another gander at it. Well, I've got everything on there.
Isn't she a wow? She's a couple of wows.
Looks pretty damn good, doesn't it?
Nice!
Now let me tell you a problem I had with this thing. In part one, I showed you what happened to the speaker here. The mice ate the cone, so I can't use this. So I was using this car speaker. It's the one with the real big magnets on them, and I can't use this because it's
And why not?
it's hitting these tubes here. Trying to find a speaker for this, I ordered this one. This is a 4 ohm, 5 to 10 watt. Still got a big magnet there, but this one's a little bit smaller. There it is mounted. Just fits. It's not hitting any of the tubes. I think that's going to work. Well, you're looking at the output transformer of this radio here. And right after the first episode, I wanted to test this radio real good, so I left it playing all day. And it worked fine. The next day I turned it on, all I got was a high-pitched scratching noise. And I located the problem, and it was this output transformer. It had a few breaks in it, and that's another thing we can chalk up to those mice. I think some of that pee got on there, and by me running this for a long time and getting warm, it just gave out. So in my junk box, I did find one, and it was almost identical to the one that was bad. So I put it in here, and I actually used the same piece here to hold that in there. So I kind of lucked out on that one. So let's just turn this on. You hook up an antenna to it.
Get the antenna. Get the antenna. Get the antenna. Get the antenna.
The most pregnant pause I've heard in a long time, followed by not even a shot at trying to answer the question at all. This is scary. It is
Plenty of volume on it.
in public office who could, depending on
That buzzing noise is just coming from my laptop computer.
President Joe Biden seems to be failing mentally.
Come on, man.
Your study is not able to answer a simple question about gas prices.
Well, you can save just by being you. DriveWise and the Allstate mobile app gives you personal.
It gets the usual 5 stations.
Of a book. Have you ever read Matt Christopher, that author who wrote all the sports books in the mid-1900s? One of my favorites from him growing up when I was a kid, reading The Kid Who Only Hit Homers. About the...
Well, it's time to do some more flocking. I'm going to do this grill. I've got some brown flocking I bought. You see it over there. I'm going to see if I can take this off with some lacquer thinner.
Take it off here, boss.
Yeah, take it off then.
Doesn't seem to want to come off.
Take it off, take it off, take it all off. Sis, boom, bah.
Okay, there it is. Looking all nice and spiffy. I'm going to use spray adhesive on there. And I got some brown flocking.
Clark, watch your language.
Let's put it in the tube. I've never used this spray adhesive before, so we'll see if it works. It should. Showtime. Okay, that should do it. Okay, it's toner time.
Oh, good grief.
I'm going to use this Mohawk medium walnut. But before I do that, I wanted to point out that I had to add another strip of veneer here. This veneer was very thin, and a little bit on that side broke off. So I decided to cut some of that out and put in a new piece. Now it doesn't match very well, but hopefully we can just use the toner and blend it in there. Now I don't want this front piece too dark, so I gotta go easy on the toner.
Easy does it, fella.
There's that lonely feeling again. Here it comes, a stealing again. Though I try to tell my heart to make the best of it, my lips are sincere, but my heart just won't hear the rest of it. I may join the crowd for a laugh, but it's only whistling in the dark. Someday we will be together, but darling, until then, there's that lonely feeling again. Someday we will be together, but darling, until then, there's that lonely feeling again.
Well, there it is after the toner.
That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all.
I'm going to use two types of lacquer on here. I got a semi-gloss and a satin. I'm going to do the inside satin and the outside a semi-gloss. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
We'll do the inside next. Okay, let's get this decal on here. I think this front is too dark, so I don't know if the decal is going to show up that well, but let's give it a shot here.
Don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be fine.
Ah. Well, it's going to have to do. It's good enough for this neighborhood, that's for sure. I'm going to do some touch-up on the flocking here. You see these portions where it's thin? What I think I'll do is, I think I'll spray some glue on there and try to reflock that and see what it looks like. As far as this is concerned, and take a look at this here. All this paint came off here. I'm going to have to do something about that. Let's see what I come up with. Well, there's the platter turntable. I retouched it a little bit. I sprayed some red paint on it and then put some more flocking on there. It's not perfect, but I think it looks better than it was. More even. Now wait till you guys see what I did with the tone arm. Some of you may start cussing, but I like it. I like it a lot. There it is.
Hey, what's going on around here?
You son of a bitch!
Now when I originally stripped this, I had a few comments saying, that looked pretty neat with no paint. I decided those 2 comments were right. Look at that. It looks great.
You mad genius.
Oh dear.
All these weeks of hard work, it's finally come down to this. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you don't want to miss this. It's going to be great. Coming up, the reveal. Okay, here we go. Let's have a little drum roll here, okay? I give you the 1947 Sonora Radiophonograph model WBRU-239. Beautiful, huh? I'm going to play my favorite tune from 1947, right on this record here.
Torture me as long as this. I might be smiling by now with some new tender friend. Smiling by now with my heart on the mend. But when I try, something in that heart says no. You're still there. I wish I didn't love you so. My heart on the mend, but when I try, something in that heart says no. You're still there. I wish I didn't love.
Wasn't that a great song? I hope you all enjoyed the series. Another vintage radio and phonograph saved. Coming up next, my update on the mystery World War II soldier that you heard in the recording on the last episode. You'll love it. I'll be back next month with a new project. Until then, this is Buzz 1151 signing off. Good night, everybody. On my last video, I played a recording from 1943 from a soldier named Carl to his wife Haida and young son Frankie.
Hello, Haida. Do you remember how we once before had a record of my voice cut and how uncertain the future looked to us at that time? I went away for a long time and left you in care of our little son. I was very proud of my little wife and of the fine boy we called our own.
At the time, I didn't think I would ever find out who the mystery soldier was. Well, I was wrong. I got Carl's last name from the eBay seller of Carl's record. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Private Carl Max Weigert. Carl was born in Germany in 1908. He immigrated to the U.S. in the late 1930s. Here's his wife Hedwig, or Haida. Carl enlisted in the Army in January 1943 and served 2.5 years. Young Frankie was born around 1942, I believe. Grew up in Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania. Here is his high school graduation picture. Frank went on to graduate from MIT, worked as a scientist in physics and chemistry, and held over 20 patents. Sadly, Frank died 2 years ago and had no family. As for Carl, he died at age 54. And here is a picture of his headstone. As for his wife Haida, she died in 1984 at age 79. So Carl, I salute you and every other soldier who served in World War II. Rest in peace. Now you know the rest of the story.
And you know how I am hoping for the day to be united with you again. This is your car saying so long